like if someone starts smoking or drinking, it'll be hard to quit, just like with Maya. So I should avoid getting trapped in her tricks by being fully engaged in Krishna's pleasure.
Very good.
Iconoclast means a person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutes. And I got that from the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Excellent.
And Maya is a iconoclast, so basically she is trying to distract us from Krishna's service to put us in like material sense gratification.
Exactly right. Thank you. Haribol. Very good. Did you do that all by yourself? Whoa. Good. Okay, who's next? Next, anybody? Yes, Agastya.
So the homework was to understand the 4 points and the new word, which is iconoclast. And you have to explain how to resist 1, 2, 3, like points 1, 2, 3, and 4. So points 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're the 4 ways that Maya can attack you. So Maya attacks you with like desires to be famous or have power. So, and iconoclast means a person who attacks beliefs in institutions. So to resist the points 1, 2, 3, and 4, you have to become humble. To become humble, you have to engage in devotional service. When you're humble, you're unaffected by power, fame, and sense gratification because you have no desire for them. If that happens, 1, 2, and 3 can't do anything to you, which means that 4 also cannot do anything to you because you're not frustrated in achieving the points 1, 2, and 3.
Great. Anybody else? Yes.
So the homework was to understand the 4 ways Maya can attack you, learn what the word iconoclast means, and how to resist the 4 ways. So the four ways are: a person wants to be known as a religious leader for fame and power over other people. 2, a person neglects or rejects religion, tries to become wealthy for fame and power. 3, fame, power, and wealth, and unlimited sense gratification. And then 4, when frustrated of fame, power, wealth, and sense gratification, then that person becomes an impersonalist. He wants to become one with God and rejects everything in the material world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, okay. And so then the iconoclast part. Iconoclast means a person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutes. For example, if we say no meat eating, an iconoclast will say yes meat eating. If we say no gambling, they'll say yes gambling. If we say no illicit sex, they say yes illicit sex. If we say no intoxication, and they'll be like yes intoxication. And if we say serve God, then they'll be like don't serve God. So they're basically doing the opposite of whatever we're doing. And then how to resist these 4 things. Maya will not attack you if you are pleasing Krishna by serving him. By serving Krishna in devotion and dedication, Maya will not even think about coming near you. If your activities are not dedicated to Krishna, like going to sport games or having big birthday parties, etc., then you are serving Maya. But wait, sorry. If your activities are dedicated to Krishna, for example, not going to sport games, having big birthday parties, then you are serving.
It's off. It's off. Turn it on.
But if your activities but if your activities have but if your activities are
Go ahead.
It keeps turning off. But if your activities do not have Krishna in the center, then you are serving Maya.
Right. Good. Very good. All right. So, Ria, did you do your homework? Huh? Okay, you didn't do it. All right. You what? You wrote something? Oh, okay. Well, at least you're here. You're more important than your notebook. Okay. So, these are the 4 ways that Maya attacks us. So, some people want to be religious leader for fame and power over people. Yeah. And some people decide that they're going to neglect religion and they try to become wealthy by starting a business. And then they'll have fame and power through the business. And then some people are not satisfied with fame and power and wealth, so they want to have unlimited sense gratification. You see how this Maya is progressive. She starts with one thing, then it goes to another thing, then it goes to another thing. And then when people get frustrated in trying to get fame, power, wealth, and unlimited sense gratification, then they say, I don't want any of this. It's called the sour grapes. You know the story about the sour grapes? There was once a fox, and he wanted to eat some grapes. But grapes grow on vines, and they go up very high in the air, and then the grapes hang down from the vine. Right? So the fox kept trying to jump up and catch the grapes to eat them. He couldn't reach it. So then he said, oh, I don't want them anyway. They're just sour. Are the grapes sour? No, they're sweet. But he rationalized in his mind. Rationalized means he created a thought in his mind that he didn't want them because they were sour. Were they sour? No. He just made that up so that he could walk away and not say that he failed catching the grapes. So this is called the sour grapes. Let's see what it says. One second. Mm-hmm. So this is from the story, The Fox and the Grapes. It's a fable by Aesop. You know what a fable is? F-A-B-L-E. Write this down. F-A-B-L-E. You have a pen? F-A-B-L-E. F-A-B-L-E. Fable. A fable uses animals instead of people to explain something. So, The Fox and the Grapes is a fable about a fox who's an animal, right? But it shows, the story will tell you something about people, although it's using an animal to tell the story. So there are fables, are stories about animals, but they're used, the animals are used to explain something about real people. Okay, so let's not talk, what's your name? Abya, stop talking. Do you know what a fable is? Huh? Yes. So listen carefully. So the story of Sour Grapes is a story about a fox by the Greek writer named Aesop. You ever hear of Aesop's fables? No? You ever hear Aesop's? Yeah, you did. Okay. Huh? You did? So he tells many stories about animals that reveal things about people. So if you use people instead of animals, somebody might get upset. But if you use animals, they don't get upset and they listen to the story. But then they can relate it to themselves. See? Okay, so there was once a fox and he wanted to eat some grapes. But the grapes were up high on the vine. So the vines grow on these posts and fences, and they go up high. And then the grapes grow, but they hang down. So the fox was trying to jump up to grab the grapes to eat them. He couldn't reach them. And then he thought, oh, I don't want them anyway because they're probably sour. So this is an example of people who try to achieve something in the material world and can't do it. So then they make up a story that, oh, well, I don't want it anyway because it's just sour grapes. Let's see. Because they couldn't accomplish what they wanted to do, they make an excuse that it's not really good anyway, so why try and get that thing? So whenever you say sour grapes, it's referring to this fable, this story about an animal that demonstrates something about human nature, about human beings. Okay, stop talking. Stop talking, please. Okay. So here we see, first a person wants to be famous and powerful, and therefore they come to some religious group and try to become famous and powerful by becoming a religious person. But then sometimes they think, oh, wait a minute, this religion is teaching me to be really humble and not be attached, and I'm not, getting the power and fame I really want. So let me start a business and make money, and then I'll be powerful and famous and wealthy. The more money I have, the more respect people will give me. They think that I'm a really intelligent person because I have so much money. So they give up religious life in order to make money. in order to become powerful and famous. And when they start making a lot of money, they think, wait a minute, I have some power now, I have some fame, I have some money. Now I should have unlimited sense gratification by spending this money, buy bigger and bigger houses, buy more and more cars, and nice clothes, and perfume, and jewelry, and a vacation home, and I need a yacht. You know what a yacht is? Yes, I guess, yeah. It's a big boat, but a special boat, really luxurious boat. So all rich people, really rich people, they have their own airplane, and they have their own yacht, and they have many houses, and they're famous, and they have some power over people because they employ a lot of people and they work for them. But then sometimes they get really frustrated because they can't get all the money that they want, and they can't get all the sense gratification that they want, and they don't have all the power that they want, and all the fame that they want. So what do? They say sour grapes. What does that mean? Anyone can explain? Yes? Say it out loud. Yeah, they make up some story. It's not really that good anyway, it's all sour, like sour grapes. So I don't really want that. And then they reject everything. They become like a Mayavadi. It says, it's all Maya. I'm not going to waste my time with it anymore. And what do? They want to become God now by saying, well, I'm not attached to anything material. And then they want to become completely renounced and get, again, fame and power and wealth by renunciation. And also sense gratification, because if they become if they declare themselves as an incarnation of God, people will give them money, people will give them special food, special this, special that. So now they got everything again by saying sour grapes. I don't want matter, I don't want money, but then people will give them all these things. If you become at first they started trying to be a big religious guy, but then, and for fame and power. But then they didn't advance very much. So then they said, well, I'll get fame and power by getting a lot of money. So they give up religion because now you have to work all the time to make all that money. And now they have some success, they have some money, they have some fame, they have a little bit of power. And then they think, yeah, but I also need sense gratification. So then they get sense gratification, power, fame, money, but not all that they want. And then they say, well, it's all sour grapes. It's not really as great as I thought it was. Now I'll become completely renounced and become like a yogi living in a cave and doing all kinds of tapasya. And then they become famous. And then at one point they declare themselves God. They tell the people that come to them that I'm actually God. And the people believe it. And now they get fame, they get power, they get wealth, and they get sense gratification because they're getting special food and special this and special that. Right? So these are 4 ways that Maya attacks people. So how can you protect yourself from Maya's attacks? How do you protect yourself from Maya's attacks, Shrestha? Yeah, in order to serve Krishna, you have to assume an attitude of humility and surrender to the Lord. You surrender by following the instructions of the Lord. That's the way you surrender. You don't just say, I'm surrendered. You prove that you're surrendered by following the instructions of the Lord. The more you follow, the more you're surrendered. And humility, you assume that you don't know anything. That therefore you have to learn from Krishna and the acharyas. So now we're going to talk about that. You see, when you study science, we learned about the 6 assumptions of science, but today we're going to go even further than those 6 assumptions. We're going to learn something that even the scientists themselves don't understand clearly. And that is, when you are studying science, you assume that matter comes before mind, intelligence, and consciousness. Everything starts from matter in science. Write this down. In modern science, they claim that everything starts from matter, and there's only matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so forth. And then mind, intelligence, and all that stuff, it all comes from matter. This is the view of modern science. This is the point of view of modern science. Everything comes from matter. The scientists believe that everything comes from matter. Right? So they're trying to produce a machine that is made of matter and show how the machine can equal a human being as far as the mind, senses, consciousness, and so forth, and even soul. It'll all come from the machine that they build, right? And the Vedic point of view is everything comes from Krishna. And matter also comes from Krishna. Matter was not existing independent of Krishna. It's one of his energies. So now we see the 2 concepts of reality. One is the scientist concept that everything comes from matter, and the other is the spiritual concept that everything comes from Krishna or God. You see? Now, and we go further. According to the scientists, human beings, their mind, their intelligence, their beliefs, their consciousness, it all comes from matter. On the other hand, in Krishna consciousness or Vedic philosophy, everything comes from Krishna. All the living entities, the material world, and matter, and consciousness, and beliefs, and mind, intelligence, it all comes from Krishna. Okay. So, if you accept the atheist and the scientific point of view, you will never understand reality. You'll never understand the truth. You always have an incomplete understanding. Because they are assuming something to be true that is not true. That's called illusion. The definition of illusion is believing something to be true that was never true. Write it down. Illusion, Illusion. Illusion means believing something to be true that was never true. It's not as it was true at one time or partially true. It was never true. So there's an interesting devotee who's written a book, and this is what Radha, what's his name? What's his name? Who's teaching you about matter? What was his name? Radha. What? Radhanand. Yeah. This is where he got all his information from. This book, written by a devotee who doesn't say what his name is. He just puts his karmi name. But he's a very smart person. And he says, he says, according to the Vedic point of view, matter is a description of the mind. According to the scientist and atheist point of view, the mind is a description of matter. What do scientists do? They study matter. And by studying it, they try and see what you call models or patterns in matter, right? By experimenting. They try and see these patterns. Like, for example, if you make a labyrinth, you know what a labyrinth is? What is it? What's a maze? You see what she did? She used another word that we don't understand, that she doesn't understand, to explain a labyrinth. So what is a maze? That's one way of looking at it. Yeah, yeah. So it's you when you walk into a maze or into a labyrinth, you're forced to go one way or the other way. Let's say left or right. But when you go left, then you're forced to go, let's say, right. And then you're forced to go right again. Then you're forced to go left. And then you're forced to go left again. Then you're forced to go left a third time. Then you're forced to go right. And basically you get lost. And you can't figure out how to get out of it. That's a labyrinth or a maze, right? And so there was a very smart psychologist, a scientist who studies the mind. And he made a labyrinth. So a labyrinth, you walk in, and there's only two choices. Either you go left or right. But either way, you'll be forced to go left a couple times and then right a couple times, and eventually you get lost. Right? And you can't get out. So, but he was very smart. What he did was, he was experimenting with rats. So the rat walks in. Now he has a choice of going left or right. But on the left side, there's cheese. And on the right side, there is this, if he goes right, it makes a lot of noise and it scares him. So the rat learned always to turn left and not to turn right. Because every time he turned left, he got a piece of cheese or something to eat. And every time he turned right, he got scared. So that rat, that first rat, got old and it died. But it had kids. The kids, when they walked into the labyrinth, they always turned left, they never turned right. Now, the labyrinth they walked into now did not have a piece of cheese on the left-hand side and noise on the right-hand side. So he proved that it's possible through hereditary means to pass on knowledge to the next generation by that experiment. You see how smart they are, right? So those baby rats, they always turn left, they never turn right. They got it somehow or other from the father or the mother that was trained to always turn left. You know, because when they turned left, they always were rewarded. They turned right, they got shocked or something. Okay. So, the question is that the matter is a description of the mind, according to the Vedas, and according to scientists, mind is a description of matter, just the opposite. And we said, scientists, the atheists, they think everything starts from matter. And devotees say everything starts from Krishna. So everything you see in this world today, it's all coming from Krishna's mind. Right? All the objects, everything you see, it's all coming from Krishna's mind. We're also coming from Krishna's mind. Now, what's the Vedic proof of that? Well, if you look at the history of Lord Brahma, who is Lord Brahma? He's the first what? What's Lord Brahma? He's the first what? He's the first living entity in the universe, right? How was he born? Did he have a mother and father? No. So how was he born? Yeah.
I remember he was born from a lotus. The lotus opened and then he was born.
Well, no. The lotus was just the seat or the bed. That's not how he was born. I mean, there's so many lotuses in this world. Do you see Brahmas being born from the lotuses? No. Yes. Give her a microphone.
So
Yes.
there was a lotus stem that came from Lord Vishnu's navel, and from that
Navel.
Navel, and from that the lotus bloomed and Lord Brahma appeared.
Now again, you're saying the same thing he said, that Brahma was born from the lotus. And there's so many lotuses in this world. Do you see Brahma being born from it?
Well, he's born because because Lord Vishnu wanted to create him.
What?
He was born because Lord Vishnu wanted to create him.
How did he create him? Huh? Yes, that's the whole point. From his mind, right? Therefore, that matter is a description of the mind, where there's a scientist and an atheist, they say that mind, intelligence, consciousness, beliefs, is all coming from matter. You see, it's complete opposite. They believe something that was never true. So what is it? What is that a definition of? Illusion. They're an illusion. And they're teaching you that in schools. That everything comes from matter, that there's no God. And matter, what is matter? The mind is a description of matter. Whereas just the opposite is true. You see? So let me just look at. See, if you study things carefully, you'll see that the scientists and the atheists get everything backwards. Just the opposite of what the Vedas say. And therefore, by studying their explanations, you get into Maya. You think that, okay, I'll take up spiritual life and I'll become famous and powerful. And because you don't get famous and powerful fast enough, you say, oh, I'll give this up and I'll make money and become famous and powerful. And then you have a little bit of success, and then you think, yeah, now I'm getting famous and powerful and wealthy, and now I need sense gratification. You know, that proves that I'm famous, powerful, and wealthy. But then there always are other people that are more famous, powerful, and wealthy than you, and as hard as you try, you can't get better than them. Finally, you get very frustrated and say, I give it up. It's sour grapes. And I'll just become renounced and live in a cave and do tapasya. And then you become famous and you develop some power and people give you a lot of donations. You become wealthy and then you start having sense gratification. As a renunciate, you see, so Maya attacks you in all these ways. But the idea is that we need to understand what the atheists and scientists are doing. Because today, the atheists and scientists are considered the gurus of society. People look up to them. They think that they are the ones that really know what is matter. Because they build bridges, and they build tunnels, and they build airplanes, and boats, and cell phones, and eventually artificial intelligence, those have robots that are better than human beings, and this thing and that thing. So therefore, they know what is truth. And religion is just a bunch of fairy tales and what you call archaic beliefs. Archaic means, you know, old things, old beliefs that are not scientific. So here it explains wait a minute, 1 second. One second, I'm just looking something up. So Brahma is the mental creation of Krishna. So everything is the mental creation of Krishna. Now, if that's how everything started, then we should be able to see that this is true of everything in this world. And that's what we're going to discuss when we come back.
यशोमती नंदन ब्रजबर नागर गोकुल रंजन काना गोकुल गोपी परनदन मदन मनोहर गोपी परनदन मदन मनोहर कालिय दमन विदाना अमल हरिनाममिय विलासा अमल हरिनाममिय विलासा विपिन पुरंदर नवीन नगर बोर बंसी बदान सुवासा प्रजजन पालन सुरकुल नासन प्रजजन पालन सुरकुल नासन नंद गोदन रखवाला गोविंद माधव नवनीत तास्कर गोविंद माधव नवनीत तास्कर सुंदर नंद गोपाला जमुना तट चर गोपी बसन हर रस रसिक कृप मोया श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर भक्ति विनोद छाया यशोमती नंदन ब्रजबर नागर गोकुल रंजन काना जयो राधा नीला माधव राधा नीला माधव राधे जयो राधा नीला माधव राधा नीला माधव राधे Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha. Jayo Sita Ram, Jayo Sita Ram, Jayo Sita Ram, Jayo Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Jagannatha, Jayo Jagannatha, Jayo Baladeva, Jayo Subhadra. Jayo Gaura Hari, Jayo Gaura Hari, Jayo Gaura Hari, Jayo Gaura Hari. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hello.
Nobody knows.
It's a secret.
Why don't you just hit the microphone until its teeth? You did. Now you're like, I did it. Oh my god, I didn't just go like boom with the microphone. Nobody knows it. Nobody has like 11 views. He probably has like 100. His TPS friends. Like, subscribe. Oh my god. I don't like that YouTube channel. I feel like it's a waste of your time. Huh? What? Can I donate you one of my brothers? No, thank you. I won't donate you. I won't donate you motorcycles. You just have one more brother than me. If I get caught up or he or any of the other series or him, the only thing I can get is legendary certificates. Yes. You have 23 bros. Yeah, but check your message. It takes like 100 megabucks to get legendary. It takes like 100.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so who wants to summarize what we discussed so far? Okay, there he is. Where's the microphone? Give him the microphone. Come on, Advitya, wake up. You're sleeping on the job, Advitya. Okay, so
So we said that in modern science, they believe that everything comes from matter.
yes,
And in the Vedic point of view, everything comes from Krishna.
yes.
But modern science is wrong because matter comes from Krishna. So therefore, Krishna is the origin of everything.
Yeah, but okay.
And so we had a question, how was Brahma born?
Yes.
And it was from Vishnu's mind that he was born.
It's from his mind. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you study the modern science theory, then you will get attacked from Maya, by Maya. And it will go in this cycle where they want to have fame and power. And then if they don't get enough fame and power, they want to get unlimited sense gratification.
Money.
Yeah, money.
Wealth.
Yeah, and then if they don't get enough money, then they want unlimited sense gratification.
No, when they get money,
Yeah,
then
they-
they want to use it for
Yeah,
unlimited
they wanna
sense gratification.
Use it for unlimited sense gratification. And then if they can't achieve this,
Well, if
that-
they think if there's other people that have more money,
yeah, then
more
they'll
sense gratification, more this, more that,
they'll do sour grapes.
yes. What does that mean?
So they say that it means doesn't matter because I have money still.
No, sour grapes
yeah.
means that, oh, I don't want the grapes because they're sour, they're
Yeah.
not sweet. So they make up some story why they should not try and become the most powerful, the most famous, the most wealthy, the most sense gratified person, because they say, oh, it's all nonsense. It's not really good. It's sour. So then what do they do?
So then they
They want to be renounced.
Yeah.
They want to be some type of yogi then. It renounces everything. Because they can't be the greatest,
they want to be
they say that it's not really good anyway.
yeah.
So they want to be the greatest
Oh,
renunciate. They want to be the greatest renounced person. And in that way get fame,
and
power, wealth, and sense gratification by becoming God.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Very good. Very, very good. So, the scientists say everything comes from matter, including God. And the devotees say, or Vedas say, everything comes from Krishna, including, and everything is, and Krishna doesn't need anything or anyone to help him create. He creates everything with his mind. You see? So does Brahma. He creates sons from his mind. And so do human beings. How do human beings create something? Do they start with matter or do they start with the mind? Huh? Yeah, so how does someone create something? Yes, exactly. And then they organize the matter to actualize the idea. So matter is just a description of the mind of the creator. And the scientists say that the mind is a description of matter. It's just the opposite. And it's not true. See. So matter is a description of the mind. So everything that's in the mind can exist in matter. But matter is pre-existing. Like, Agastya, how long ago were you born? Huh? What? Almost 12 years. Was matter existing before you were born? Huh? So if we say that matter is a creation of the mind, who created it? Yeah. Created way before you were born in this particular body, right? So everything you're seeing is a description of Krishna's mind. And the scientists say everything you see is matter, and matter is and the mind and intelligence and consciousness and convictions are a description of matter. Just the opposite. Okay. So, if I say that Agastya was born from a rock, right? He doesn't have a mother and father. He was born from a rock. Is that true? No. So anything else I say about Agastya is going to be false, because the origin of Agastya is false. You see? So this is the problem. The scientists say everything is born from matter, and everything that comes into existence, including the concept of God, comes from matter. Is that true or false? It's false. So it's impossible for the scientists and the atheists who say everything comes from matter to understand what is the truth, because they're starting from something that's completely false. Whereas every idea they get starts from the mind. It doesn't start from matter. Right? And if you read how scientists get ideas, you'll see that they sometimes they have a dream, and in the dream they saw something, and they wake up and they think, aha, this is the answer to the question I had. If you read about how scientists discover things, they don't only discover things by observing matter, they discover things also by having ideas. And then they put their ideas into matter. They organize the matter to fit the idea that they have. Right? Okay. So, what is their explanation of where matter came from? Yes. Big Bang. What happened after the Big Bang? How? By a process of evolution. Darwin's theory. See? So, this is everything they believe that is developed in matter is by an evolutionary process. Is that true? No. Everything's created by Krishna. It didn't happen with a big bang. It didn't happen by a random process of evolution. It's all planned. It's all a description of Krishna's mind. Just like Amazon, the company. Did it happen by itself? Huh? No. How did it happen? Huh? So it's the garage that made Amazon? Huh? What? What's his name? Yeah. Amazon is a description of Jeff Bezos' mind. It's not that Amazon is a description of a rock which is made out of matter and it developed Amazon. No, it's a description of his mind. All these things in Amazon are coming from his mind. Right? But where did Jeff Bezos come from?
Krishna.
Yeah, from the mind of Krishna. So in life, you see that everything's starting from the mind of someone, right? The original someone is Krishna. And then after Krishna, there are other people like Brahma, and after Brahma, there are other people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and other people. And from their mind, things are happening. Things are being created, yes. Okay, give her the microphone. What she's saying is very important. Start all over.
We're explaining this topic to someone, and so you said how Jeff Bezos is a description of Krishna's mind, right? Or no, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos is a description of Krishna's mind.
Not only Jeff Bezos, all of us.
All of us, yeah. So then you're saying that Krishna created us, right?
Yes.
Which is right. So what if someone says, then who created Krishna? What would we say for that?
Well, we've discussed this. So, okay, go ahead. What is your name again? How do you say your name? What? Samarth. Okay, Samarth, go ahead. I'll give him the microphone.
Before you say about like after you say that Jeff Bezos was created from Krishna's mind, then you say that Krishna is not created by anyone.
Yeah, but they say, well, we don't accept that.
Because
Then what do you say?
Krishna is the cause of all causes.
Okay, they'll say, well, that's what you believe. That's not what we believe. What do you say to that? They say that's your story, but we have a different story. What do you say?
Okay, and then I say, do I say the 6 points to convert an atheist now?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
Do you know what those 6 points are?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, number 1.
Number 1, go
Are
ahead.
you an individual, unique person?
Okay, number 2.
Uh,
They're going to eventually say yes, otherwise
yeah.
you're going to bang them on the head with a chair to prove that they are. Go ahead. Number 2, come on, seer.
Oh yeah. The seer and the scene,
Right.
and then the objects of the scene and the process of how you see,
And
and then the instruments of seeing.
They've all been what? Given to you, or you created them?
Given to you.
By who?
Krishna.
Well, they've been given to you. Okay. And next?
Number 4.
Number 4.
4 is, are you
Unlimited seer?
Yeah.
Huh?
Are your senses unlimited?
What are they? You tell us.
The eyes,
No, I know.
Oh.
But are they unlimited or are they limited?
they're unlimited.
They're unlimited?
No, sorry, they're limited.
They're limited. Okay, that's number 4. And number 5?
That there is an intelligent person everything has its consciousness.
No.
No.
You get frustrated
Yeah.
because you have limited senses,
Mhm.
and you know, I mean, does the table get frustrated?
No.
Do people get frustrated?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, number 5.
That people have.
So if people are
Yeah.
frustrated and have limited senses, right?
Because.
And there's a difference between the seer and the seen.
Mhm.
So why are they frustrated? Why
Because
are
have-
they frustrated and the table is not frustrated?
People have a consciousness, and the table doesn't have consciousness.
Okay. And consciousness, is it a material thing or what is it?
It's a spiritual thing
Yes.
given by Krishna.
Yes. No, it's not material.
Yeah.
Because the material thing doesn't get frustrated,
Mhm.
right? Only a person gets frustrated. So a person must have something that the table doesn't have that causes it to get frustrated. Okay, go ahead. So it has some kind of consciousness where the table is not conscious to pain and pleasure. Consciousness makes you sensitive to pain and pleasure. Okay, number 6.
And the 6th point is that everything has an intelligent person behind it.
Everything that moves.
Yeah, that moves.
Right. How do you prove that? Come on, you have to know all these things. Otherwise you can't convince someone that there's superior intelligence in the universe.
So first we say that we give the toy train example,
That's one example. There are others also.
and then we could do like,
Well, did the toy train make itself?
no, there's an intelligent person behind it.
Right. Then when you construct it, does the toy train move by itself? You
No.
construct it. You make the tracks and the train, and you hook up the electric, let's say, controls. Does the toy train move by itself?
No.
No, you have to push the
Yeah.
buttons to make it move and stop, go forward or go backwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the person that made the toy train is intelligent. You who are playing with the toy train, you're intelligent. Is the toy train intelligent?
No,
No.
because it doesn't have its consciousness.
Right, exactly. So now, how do you prove that there's intelligence behind the whole universe?
Somebody.
The toy train example only proves that the maker of the toy train was an intelligent person. You who bought the toy train are an intelligent person because you put it together according to instructions. You hooked it up to electricity so that the controls work. And now you're making it go forward and backwards.
You use the space example,
What about space?
like the planets, like exactly moving.
Exactly right. Who's making that movement?
Krishna.
An intelligent
Yeah,
person.
intelligent person.
Just like you're an intelligent person, you're making the toy train move.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be an intelligent person making the planets move in exact orbits. And we're keeping time according to the movement of the planets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not happening by accident. Just like the train is
Yeah.
not moving by accident, the planets are not moving by accident. Right? So that proves that there's a superior intelligence in the universe, or God. He's the smartest person.
Yeah.
Okay? Good. So, does that answer your question? Your question was, what was your question again? Let's say it in the microphone. Give her the microphone. Advitya, you're not doing your job. You're just going like this. You're just looking. You have to go there, get it, give it to her. That's your job. Okay. Go ahead.
My question was, what if someone asks, who created God? I mean, whose description is God? Whose description of mind is God? And how would we explain that to someone who doesn't understand?
Well, he's the supreme intelligent person.
Yeah.
Okay. So we proved that nothing moves without intelligence behind it. And that there's a difference between the seer and the seen, and that we're distinct individuals, and then the process of seeing, the objects of seeing, the instruments of seeing, they've all been given to us. But our seeing is limited. And we get frustrated because of that limited seeing potential. And because of that, and that frustration proves there's a difference. There's a significant difference between we, the seer, and what we're seeing. And that difference is consciousness. The table doesn't get frustrated. The carpet doesn't get frustrated. The microphone doesn't get frustrated. But we get frustrated because of our limitedness. And that proves that we have consciousness, and the table and the chair, they don't have consciousness. Okay? They're just matter. But we are matter plus something else, which is called consciousness. Right? And then we see that nothing moves without a conscious person behind it. But now there's different levels of consciousness, because we can make the toy train move, but we're not moving the planets, which are moving precisely, and so precisely that we can predict their movements, because it's happening according to a specific pattern. Now we realize if some intelligent man made the train set, and an intelligent person bought it, constructed it, and making it go forward and backwards, there's got to be an intelligent person who made the planets and making them move in precise orbits, so precise that we keep time according to their movements. So now we understand, by using logic and reason, not referring to Scripture, not saying the name of God, that there's a supreme intelligent person in the universe, and another name for that intelligent person is Krishna, right? Or God. Okay. So now we're going to look yeah. Okay, so Lord Brahma is born from the mind of Krishna, right? And then from the mind of Brahma, different Prajapatis are born. This is explained in the Brahma Samhita and the Vedas. So here we see that everything starts from the mind. It doesn't start from matter. Matter is just a description of the mind of someone. Just like Amazon is a description of the mind of Jeff Bezos, Microsoft is a description of the mind of Bill Gates, Apple is a description of the mind of Steve Jobs, right? And the universe is a description of the mind of Krishna. See? The scientists say, no, everything starts from matter, and the mind is a description of matter. Just the opposite. It's a false concept. And because of that, if you study the way the scientists and the modern philosophers and the atheists are teaching, you'll never understand what is life and what is matter and what is who you are and what your purpose in life should be. You'll never understand it because it's starting from the wrong point. And it's starting from an illusory idea. What is an illusion? Something that was never true at any time. It's not that it might have been true for some time or it's partially true. It was never true at any time. That's called an illusion. And this concept of the atheists and the scientists that everything starts from matter, and from matter comes the mind and consciousness and eventually a soul, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to prove that by making computers that are equal to human beings. It's not a fact. It'll never be a fact. Okay? So this is explained in Brahma Samhita, verse number 49. It says, Krishna, by the process of allotment of his own potency, creates the Brahma, who has the nature of the avatara, or descent of the divinity, in the active mundane principle Rajaguna. By principle, Brahma is superior to ordinary jivas, but is not the direct divinity. The divine nature is present in a greater measure in Sambhu, or Shiva, than in Brahma. Okay, anyway, this is Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, verse number 49. So if you want to have the proof that Brahma is created from the mind of Krishna, This is the verse. Brahman Samhita 5:49. We only have the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita. All the other 99 chapters we don't have. But the 5th chapter is all you need because it's got everything in it. So Brahma is a mental creation of Krishna. And he has up to 78% of the qualities of Krishna. Okay, so today we learned something. We learned the difference between the point of view of the scientists and atheists and the point of view of the Vedas. From the Vedas, everything is coming from the mind of Krishna. From the scientists and atheists, everything is coming from matter, which has no mind. So how can it create anything? You see? Matter is what you call the material cause, and it's different from the efficient cause. So write these two words down: material cause and efficient cause. Material, M-A-T-E-R-I-A-L, and efficient, E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. Material cause and efficient cause. Now your homework is to explain what is a material cause and how it is different than the efficient cause. And I want you to find an example that can exemplify the difference between the two. And I'll give you a hint. Brahma is the material cause and Krishna is the efficient cause. I'll give you another hint. The material cause is a seed, and the efficient cause is rain coming from Krishna. In fact, the seed and the rain both come from Krishna. But you could consider the seed as the material cause and the rain as the efficient cause. Although both of them come from Krishna, so he is both the material and the efficient cause. But in a material sense, the rain is the efficient cause and the seed is the material cause. Okay? So, and maybe you can do a little research looking up what is material cause, what is efficient cause. Ultimately, Krishna's mind is the efficient cause of everything, material and spiritual. And everything you see is a description of Krishna's mind. Okay, we'll stop right there. And you have your homework for? Tomorrow. And who's not going to do their homework? Raise their hand. Oh, that means I can ask everyone. Like today, everyone who came first did their homework. You know, yeah, did you do your homework? Okay, read your homework. Go ahead.
Question. Read the 4 ways Maya can attack you and explain how you can stop yourself from getting tricked. Answer. Number 1. Doing devotional service to Lord Krishna. If you're already doing devotional service, then double down in devotional service. Number 2. Stop.
Is that the way Maya attacks you?
No.
That's the way not to be attacked by Maya. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Number 2. Stop watching TV and playing computer games.
Haribol.
Number
Who's
3.
going to do that? Is Krishna going to do that?
I don't think I can do it.
Huh? Go ahead.
Number 3. Chant daily at least 16 good rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Haribol.
Number 4. Control senses and mind by always focusing on Krishna.
Try.
Number 5. Always follow 7 points of logic, which are: Number 1. Do things which are favorable to Krishna consciousness. Number 2. Reject things which are not favorable to Krishna consciousness. Number 3. Always remember Krishna. Number 4. Never forget Krishna.
Right.
Number 5. When in doubt, ask Shiksha or Diksha Guru. Number 6. do things which only please Lord Krishna. And number 7, 3-point triangle of verification.
Excellent. Excellent.
Number 6, attend all Krishna conscious classes and artis. Number 7, associate with pure devotees and take guidance from them. Number 8, a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanavedanam.
Haribol. So is that 8 ways to avoid being tricked by Maya? Excellent. Okay. Well, I think we'll stop for today and continue tomorrow. Be here exactly at 7:30, not exactly at 8:15. Okay. Okay. Haribol.